So for today's webinar, I want to say thanks and introduce Maria Fuertes and Antonio Guillermo Martinez from LibNova. Hello, guys.
Hello, gents.
It's great to have you again, like every year. So I think this is the third time in a row, so I'm very happy to have you. And I think today's topic is very interesting because we talk about LabDRIVE. Like the title says, the ultimate research data management and digital preservation platform. What this is all about, I think you will show us later. But before I give the word and the presentation to you guys, I just want to start with a short introduction so that we are on page with everybody. So this will be the agenda for today, a short introduction about what the event is all about us ourselves, and then we go to LabDRIVE with Antonio and Maria, and in the end, so we collected a few questions beforehand. So I want to ask Antonio and Maria a few things. So we will do that. And then this will be it for today. So the first questions we want to deal with today is what is the Digitalisierungsoffensive? So whoever of you attended webinars from the last years, or maybe in this year, maybe the first time, but it's not the first webinar, so you know already what this is all about. It's a web event and is made for libraries, archives, and museums mainly. So for every institution that deals with cultural heritage digitization and preservation in any means. We want to give in these webinars that we offer, we want to give, like insider information about certain projects, client projects, or projects that we do with maybe clients with clients maybe abroad or to give you more aspects about what the solutions can do or what clients realize with projects for the products and solutions that we offer. One main topic, of course, is digitization, workflow, and presentation. Web and social media archiving is a very important topic. Also, digitization equipment and scanners. This year, it's about 3D scanning. And and today, of course, we are at the field of long-term preservation. This will be the third edition. In the past, we had more than 3,000 registrations to all the webinars, to all the events we had. So that was the reason why we decided to do this again, to invite again our partners, our clients to do webinars with us and to share their information with you. You can find all details and all options to register on this website here on the list. I think you already received email, postcards, and maybe a call from us so that you don't miss the event. Obviously, you are here, so that went very well. If you think this was a nice webinar, you like the topic, you like the format, then feel free to go on the website and register for more. Or if you like this webinar, just watch it again. No, it's free. It's no problem. So about us. So we are a company based in Bielefeld, and to sum up in one sentence what we do, we support cultural heritage institutions like libraries, archives, and museums, but also companies in building up a complete digital workflow from scanning to long-term preservation. And the focus in everything we do is very clear and simple. So we don't want to offer like low-level, low-price solutions that don't bring a lot of value to our clients. So we look every time to solutions that have a high rate of automation, that offer high productivity, high ergonomics, and this also combined with high quality of the solution itself and the service that comes with it also. To do that, we have to work together with many partners because obviously we cannot do everything on our own, and it doesn't make sense to do that. So we understand ourselves more like an architect. The architect is not building your house, by his hands, and he's not installing the toilet or building the roof, but he knows how to do it generally, and he knows who to ask and who to bring on the construction side to make a good job. And we see ourselves in such a position. And our partner network actually has around about 350 experts. We have at hand for the certain projects. So what we like to do is in these projects is look what the requirements are and then take the experts from all the partners we need to have the maximum success in these projects. What is very important that we work together with certain partners, but we're not dependent on any partner at all. So we had in the past, like the microfilm topic, we had the problem that companies, went out of the microfilm scanner market, like Canon. So we had to switch to another company to still provide, this service or these products. We do this for more than 40 years now in the cultural heritage market, and the company itself, but is more than, I think it's 84 years. We are 84 years this year, and yeah, 40 years in the terms of in the field of cultural heritage. And yeah, when we started to work, it was mainly microfilm. Today, everything is digital. And if you want to know more about our clients and what they do, you can go on our website and you find a pretty long list of references. It's not 100%, but it's a good list of references, and you can see that we are working with very small institutions, very big institutions, consortia products, etc., etc. In the library field, archives, museums, companies, etc., etc. So you can find a lot of our clients there, and I'm sure you will find somebody and you can get in touch and inform yourself, without asking us if you want to. So that brings me to our main topic today, and so because I wanted to keep the introduction as short as I can, and yeah, we want to talk today about LABDRIVE, the ultimate research data management and digital preservation platform. And I think, Antonio Maria, this is a premiere today because we haven't talked about LABDRIVE, at least in the German-speaking market, right?
That's right.
So yay, that's a premiere. And at this stage, I want to unshare my screen and give you the opportunity, Antonio Maria, to share your screen, to take over the presentation, please.
Very good. I hope you can see my screen right now.
I can.
Very good. So thank you, Jens, and thank you, everyone, for coming here today and for your interest. So yeah, as Jens said, what we're going to see today is a LABDRIVE. LABDRIVE is a really nice platform to basically manage research data, research content, and also preserve it. So we would like to give you an introduction about us, really short. You already know who we are. So we are a market leader in digital preservation and digital content archiving. We have our solutions now present in 17 countries, and you have some of the largest and most demanding organizations worldwide are already using our platforms. Among them, for instance, you have the British Library, we have many other national libraries, the Austria National Library, for instance. We have many universities across the world. Oxford, Stanford, Princeton University are all using this platform for preservation. The company, Livnova, is almost 14 years old, while so this is a very sweet point, because on one hand, we are still young enough, and the technology we are using is a modern technology. But on the other hand, we have massive experience on because of we have been execute some of the largest digital preservation and innovation projects worldwide related to the topic. In addition, we are the only major global self-sustained company. We are running on our own customers and resources and so on. So this makes us really stable over time. So our focus is always looking at what is important for our customers and for the long term, and this remains this is keeping us really focused. When we start working with someone, we usually work together for 10, 15 years or more. So our approach when working with our customers is a really long-term approach. So you are not getting just a software license or whatever. You are getting a partner that is going to help you to understand what is possible to be done and how to do it, and what are the approaches that are working best for other organizations worldwide. We are very active on innovation, and we are very active on customer support. So all of our resources are in product engineering and support. We are keeping or sales and marketing costs as small as possible, because the way we are choosing to growth is basically allowing doing excellent projects and excellent execution, and then allowing our customers to tell other organizations or customers and so on, so about their experience in the project and so on. This is a slower way to grow, but you will find, if you contact with any of our customers, you will find excellent stories and excellent executions and so on. In terms of research, we are very active on researching. We have only one of the two only European companies accepted as an NDSA member. We are also part of the Digital Preservation Coalition, and we are in research with some of the largest research-related organizations in the European Union. Thinking about standardization, this is also, and data security, GDPR, and so on, is also really a key point in our strategy. So the LIBNOVA is certified as for today and externally audited every year in 4 ISO standards. The 9001 is quality. The 27001 is information security. The whole platform operation and company is audited according to this standard, which allows us to keep a very good security standards in the company. But we're also certifying the 27017, which is particularly looking at how to manage sensitive data in cloud environments, which gives us pretty good GDPR alignment. And the 27018, which is basically the highest security requirements you can have in a cloud environment. As I told you, we are focused on providing the best available technology and support to the digital preservation community, and we have 3 product lines: LibSafe Go and LibSafe Advanced, that we discussed in previous webinars, are looking at cultural heritage and academic organizations, and the one we are presenting today is LIBNOVA LABDRIVE, which is a research data management solution. Any of those platforms are sharing exactly the same preservation engine. It is fully aligned to the OIs, and so OIs 1471, but also to the fair and the trust principles. We have one platform that has been certified, fully certified in the ISO 16363, so the platform can be easily certified by our customers if needed. And as I told you, we are also externally audited in those standards. Any of our platforms is capable of running in a cloud or on-prem environment. We are offering 15 regions worldwide for service, including Frankfurt, for instance, in Germany, but we have several other European regions in which we are offering service. And it is possible to switch from one license to another. So it is possible to switch from a cloud or to on-prem environment, or the opposite, and also switch from one product license to the other. Okay, so what we're going to see today is LABDRIVE. LABDRIVE is a research data management and preservation platform. This is very important because even if LIBNOVA is known as a digital preservation company, we think that when we are managing research data, as soon as you start getting this data into the platform, the better you will have it for preservation. So unlike other types of content, the research data is the time that that takes from when the data is created and when you need to preserve it is really short, right? So you are preserving live things. So it's very important to understand that this platform is not just an archival platform. It's a platform that allows researchers to work together over a project and to have all the data in a single platform. And as a byproduct of that, you can preserve it, you can share it, you can manage risks, and so on, right? But the crucial thing is that it is not only a preservation platform. We have 3 design principles in place. The first one is that this platform is a very comprehensive platform. And we will see that later, but allows you to as I briefly told you, to capture the research as soon as it is produced. It allows you to manage the whole life cycle of the content. It allows you to customize it, to adapt it to multiple needs, and so on. In addition, it is completely open. So as you know, the ISO 16363 is the gold standard in digital preservation. The platform is fully aligned to that. As part of the documentation, we provide also a guide on how this is achieved and how you can certify using this platform and this standard. I already told you about the ISO. And it's very important to highlight that 100% of the information you have in the platform can be easily exported. There are no exit barriers at all. The platform can be, so you can extract everything from the platform. This is unique. Other platforms allow you to extract digital objects and so on, but for instance, you can't access logs of users or other types of information. In this platform, everything that is in the platform can be easily extracted for if you need to move to a different platform. And we have tested it, and we're explaining you how this is done with a great level of detail. This is also part of the documentation. On the other hand, it is very easy to extend it and to adapt it to your specific use cases. As a result of this, the platform is unified, allows you to combine the research content in a single and unified and organized platform. What we see that has been happening in the past is that every research project is using its own platform to keep the research data, and in organizations with multiple projects, this is growing and growing and growing. So it is very complex, very difficult to manage, and you have many risks that you may not be aware of by lacking of unified view of your research content. In the platform, there is, of course, an ingestion process and preservation process, but this can be extended to other areas, right? So if we leave apart the research planning activities, LABDRIVE is able to support organizations in many other areas of the life cycle. So for instance, when you are collecting data at the beginning of the research platform, LABDRIVE can help you to keep it organized and allow you to, all this data you are collecting, to place it in the platform and start the preservation right there and the management and make it available to other researchers. When they are processing and analyzing this data, the platform is also supporting you because the API in which you can use to access this content from external platforms, but it also includes Jupyter notebooks, for instance. It also includes the capability of users to run their own workflows and processes. It is also supporting you when you are thinking on publishing and sharing this content. While LABDRIVE is not a sharing and an access platform, you have Invenio, you have other solutions for that. You can manage how this publication is done from within the preservation and the management platform. So you can set it with metadata, you can manage versions, you have a unified view of what has been processed and how, what are the policies you are using, and so on. Of course, when we are thinking on preserving, it is also supporting you. There is full OIS alignment. It's ISO 16363 certified. Includes everything you would expect from a preservation platform: characterization, fixity generation, fixity checking, multi-storage management, validation, and so on. And when we are approaching to the last stage of the life cycle, so reusing data in the future, it allows you to also it supports you also in this stage with really powerful search engine, so you can have all your data sets organized there, and you can query the platform about them, retrieve them, and so on. You can also run reproducibility workloads. For instance, you can use Rihanna, SnakeMake, CVL, Jupyter Notebooks, and so on. Reproducibility when thinking about research data is a really important thing. So to be able to rerun an experiment and to be able to preserve the environment so you can rerun it in the future as part of the things you are preserving in the platform is a really important thing. And LabDrive allows you to do that, allows you to have the reproducibility engine as part of the LabDrive platform. It's also a comprehensive solution because you don't need to have the data, the packages absolutely perfect for preservation. So the platform allows you to work, allows your researchers to work together over a shared folder. So they're shaping the content that they will later preserve. And they can build those packages in the platform. So it's not just archiving. This is why we say that this is also for working together and for collaboration. The platform, as I briefly told you, and I will show you immediately, has been designed to be really for you to be able to adapt it to multiple different needs. If you are working with two completely different projects, your workflows, your content, your strategies are going to be, most of them are going to be different. So the platform allows you to have all those two or more different areas in which you can work in a slightly different way. The platform is also really scalable. So during the Archiver project, which has been an European funded research project for research data preservation, we demonstrated an ingestion of 15 petabytes data set. So this means that the platform was able to sustain an ingestion of 500 terabytes per day in a single day. So no matter how large the research data is and how many millions of files you have, the platform has been demonstrated to work with huge workloads and users and so on. Going over the openness of the solution, I already told you that. So this platform has to be externally certified to be fully aligned with the OIs. So it has been certified using the ISO 16363. And as you know, this is the gold standard in digital preservation. There are other standards that are partial verifications or subsets of these, core to seal and others. But the ISO 16363 is the highest and most comprehensive standard you can use to certify that, and this platform has been certified with it. The platform has also demonstrated to be fully aligned with the trust and the FAIR principles. You have also plenty of documentation in the documentation side to be able to verify that on your own, and you have explanations on how the platform aligns to that, but also how you can organize your own processes to take advantage of them. The platform is externally certified and audited according to the 27001, 17, and 18. Remember, information security, sensitive data management, and highest security environment in cloud, highest security processes in cloud environments. And as I briefly told you, 100% of the information can be retrieved at any point in time. So all the standards and usual things that you are used to manage when thinking about preservation and data management, we have been able to use them, and the platform is fully aligned to them. Because of that, the platform allows organizations to organize and unify their content. So the approach with this platform is that you may have multiple projects running in different ways and things, and LabDrive allows you to move to a unified platform in which you can better manage your risks, publication rights, permissions, policies, but also infrastructure management And as a result, you can also understand better your costs, and you can reduce them and run in a more efficient process. Okay, so presentation about LABDRIVE. There is so for a presentation you need at least 2 hours, right? We don't have time for that today, so we would be happy when this is if you find this interesting to organize a presentation for you. So I'm just show you the most important and relevant things on the platform. The first of all is that this is a platform that can be managed using a browser. You need to install nothing on your environment to be able to run it. It's a fully web-based platform. The second thing is that the platform is equally capable of being used using the web interface or using the API, right? It's a 100% compatibility on the interface and the API interface. This means that you will face some use cases in which the user is only interested on doing the easy web interface thing, manage their workflows and the content using the web interface, and that's it, and the platform will support them. But you will have other projects in which you need to script them. They would like to work with Python, with Bash, with scripts, with code, and so on. You can perform exactly the same actions using the API. There is nothing that can be done with one or the other way. It's equally capable. In the platform, the main concept is the containers approach. So you can organize your containers in projects, departments, and so on. So you can organize your content in a way that makes sense. And when you are here, you can see what you have in your container and so on. So if I click in this node, as I see the containers that I have, so I can open this and I can explore my content. I can search over it. We are supporting full text search. You can adjust permissions, so who is able to see what and to change what and so on. You have plenty of reports you can use. You have also a reporting engine that allows your users to create their own reports and so on. So they can see them here. They can also create their own dashboards, for instance, so they can share information with other users, the reports they create. Those reports can be easily changed in real time, and you can edit things, queries, and so on. So this is a really powerful platform for creating reports. Those data sets and content your users are sharing can be also shared externally to the platform, right? So they can also provide access to a certain folder to a user that is not part of the project if they want. Everything they do gets retained. So every action. So if they upload content, if they change something, is retained. But also everything that the system is doing is also retained, and is retained as a premise event, which is, as you know, the preferred way of retaining those events for preservation. LABDRIVE is conformant to the level 3 out of 3 of the premise for managing the premise dictionary for managing events. This is the highest level you can achieve with premise, and LABDRIVE supports you on that. Here you can see the functions. I will tell you about that in a while. And then you have the storage and integrity, in which you can see where your content is stored. You can retrieve things, you can recover things, and so on. When thinking about the storage, the platform allows plain, simple storage approaches. So when you are running in the cloud, it is using Amazon S3. And you can have multiple tiers for different types of content. So you can have content that is in hot, so immediately accessible, but other content may be in cold storage, so it's reducing the cost of the storage. And the platform is capable also of managing hybrid approaches in which you are keeping your content in the hot storage, but an additional copy is kept in a cold storage or in your own premises, right? So even if you're running in the cloud, you can keep a copy of your content on your own premises. And if you are running on-prem, you can use, for instance, high scalable platforms like Ceph for keeping your content preserved, and the LABDRIVE will use and consume this storage for preserving the content and so on. When you go inside one of those containers, you can create files and folders structures. So there is no limit on practical limit on what can be created here. You can drag your content in the platform. You can so it's drag and drop. You can also real quick click here, download, and your file gets downloaded. So it's pretty easy to get content in and out of the platform. When the content is in the platform, you can also allow your users to add their own metadata. You can create the schemas, so they can also enrich the content they have, describe it, so future users can make use of it. The metadata can be imported or exported in multiple formats. You can also apply metadata in bulk for multiple elements at the same time. This is pretty useful, and you can, of course, search for anything that you are introducing in the platform. You can search for it, and you get immediate results about the content and so on. You can face it. It's full text searching, so pretty advanced and pretty useful. In addition to allowing you to introduce your own metadata content, the platform is also capable of extracting the whole metadata record that is part of the object. So here in the metadata embedded, you can see that the system is extracting all this metadata. So on. In addition to this, it is characterizing, it is generating the fixity information, and so on. So it's very comprehensive also on that. Regarding analyzing the content, you have the analytics engine. So you can create. This is a platform for creating reports and so on. You can make queries. You can launch your SQL queries. You can create charts, lists, exports, and so on. This is pretty useful for managing the data. You can publish some of those reports here. You have plenty of reports already made that you can use. You can quickly understand how the platform is working, the workload, how your users are using it, and so on. And you can also understand the volumes of storage you're using, how they are growing over time, and so on, right? So it's also pretty comprehensive then. In the smart assistants, you can detect PII information, personally identifiable information. You have a budgets management. You can also assess your digital preservation processes. You have an emission optimizer that is going to give you the CO impact that your preservation, so your emissions, the carbon footprint that your platform is generating. And you can also assess how you are aligned to the policies by your institutions. In the configuration, you can configure everything. You can create your users, schemas, and so on. So everything we have been looking at. You can create your functions, which are code that you can or when certain events trigger, right? So this allows you to create more complex or advanced ingestion workflows and so on. So it's also really comprehensive. And as I told you, so for instance, you can, let's say you have in this container, you have a data set here. You have some C code and so on. You have some Rihanna workloads. You have a Jupyter notebook that is working with the data you have in the platform. So this is a Jupyter notebook. You can open it here. So it's open. This opens a Jupyter environment, and you can execute your Jupyter workloads right from the platform. So this code is connecting to the platform, is analyzing a data set that we have in the platform, and so on, right? So you can run those workloads here. And the same goes for reproducibility workflows. So I have a Rihanna YAML file here that is executing some pretty old C code and so on. So here you have it, and you can just click here, run Rihanna workflow. The system will ask you for the parameters and so on, and will execute this Rihanna workflow, will create the outputs and so on. So it's the reproducibility engine is also here. So then, as a recap of everything that we have been looking at, let me go back to the presentation. So remember that the key things are that this is a research data management and preservation. Of course, you can use it only for preservation, but the great benefit of it is that it allows also your researchers to work together in a shared folder, share the content, shape it, enrich it, and then having a better preservation. It is comprehensive, so it allows you to capture, but properly manage, preserve, and so on. It is fully open. It's pretty easy to extract everything that is in the platform. It's standards aligned. Users can extend it, and then as a result allows you to unify, rationalize, combine all your strategy in a platform you can easily manage and so on. And as a result of that, you can better manage your risks. You can reduce the cost that you have, and you can of course understand better what you are doing, in addition to of course providing better tools to your researchers. So thank you, everyone.
I thank you, Antonio. So I have to say yes. I can imagine you can fill a few hours with this topic because yeah, it was a lot of things to see and to hear. Very, very interesting. Thanks a lot. So I want to switch over to a few questions that I collected, and maybe you can unshare your screen because I suggest we look at ourselves, so that people can see us a little bit bigger than showing just a slide when we talk about questions. So the first question I have is, so you mentioned in your first slides, we can see that, I would say the starting point of LibNova and LibSafe is preserving cultural heritage, and you're already working with so many institutions all over the world. So what would you say is the difference between, preserving cultural heritage on the one hand and preserving research data on the other hand?
This is a very good question. So the point is that probably 60-70% of the need is going to be the same, but the approach is slightly different. So for instance, in research data, you have a more collaborative approach. So you have multiple individuals that are working together in order to produce an object that you will later preserve. In the cultural heritage world, when you get the object for preservation, the object is has been defined. So it's the way it is when you receive it. So the enriching is way less relevant. Still, you have some enriching, but is way less. So this would be, I would say, the main difference. Then you have other smaller things. So for instance, one is the complexity of render content. In cultural heritage and academic fields, you find usually pretty easy to render content. It's not always, but most of the content, you have images, you have video content, you have audio content, which are, compared to research data, pretty easy to
Mm.
render and to understand. Then there is also a difference. The platform you need additional support on the platform to be able to help you to do that. Related to that, you have the reproducibility. You don't have reproducibility in the cultural heritage and academic fields. You don't need to run experiments and be able to reproduce them. So when you are working with research data, being able to reproduce those experiments is a key part of it. And LabDrive also is supporting you there. I would also highlight performance, right? So 10 petabytes of content is considered a pretty large collection in the cultural heritage world, while 20 petabytes of data is a medium-sized, small-sized collection in research, right? So you have organizations with hundreds or thousands of petabytes of research data content. So this is, I would say, another difference. And then you can find some minor things on, for instance, related to the trust and the fair principles, how you approach to them, and so on, right? But I would highlight that those are the most relevant differences in our experience.
Okay. And you know, on your reference list, I can see, or we can see a lot of, high class universities, like I think it was Princeton, Stanford, Oxford, Cambridge, and so I'm pretty sure before you thought about, doing something on this field and developing LabDrive, you were thinking of, or maybe talking to your clients or whatever, think about, why to do this. So my question would be, what are the top 3 advantages you would see in your LabDrive that, makes the solution maybe unique or especially good in comparison to maybe what, other solutions are on the market?
This depends a lot on the type of customer, and well, you are asking me two different questions. The first one is related to our experience. LabDrive is a natural evolution for product lines, a natural product for us, because we are working with many of those institutions, and you are working with them, discovering their content and so on. And like 5 years ago, they started asking us, all the cultural heritage and academic and so on is preserved and so on. Do you have something to deal with research data? And then we started understanding, like we always do, understanding the need, discussing with them, finding existing tools and so on. And then what we saw is that, as I already told you, the needs are 60-70% the same, right? So why not extending the platform to the things that are needed, so we can better support those customers? This is the first element that resulted in LabDrive. The second one was the Archiver project. At the same time we started working on this project, the Archiver project, the European funded Archiver project, was launched. We participated. We finally having the winners, and this was basically European funding to help organizations to build their products faster. So thanks to that, we have been also able to produce LabDrive and to actually do large scale testing and so on. This is related to the first part of your question. And the second, those are the elements that I have highlighted in the platform. So we have created a platform that allows organizations to support multiple use cases. It's not just for genomics or for physics, or it allows you to do it, to apply to multiple fields. And even if you are in genomics, you will have different types of workflows and so on. And the platform allows you to the platform can be configured so it supports you in those different workflows. And because of that, it allows you to have a unified view of your research data and so on. You can consolidate everything in a single platform. And I would say that this is the most relevant benefit that you have in the platform. Allows you to manage the whole or most of the life cycle of the research data, including preservation, but also creation of those research data sets and so on in a single platform and unified platform. This is the benefit that our customers are finding most attractive to them.
Okay, I understand. You just mentioned the Archiver project and the funding. I saw that also on LinkedIn. I think there was several posts about the project and the ongoing process. So you mentioned you get a few million euros funding, or you won the project with a few million euros funding. So what does it mean for a company, for your company, for LabNova, and especially for LabDRIVE and the LibSafe solution?
Mm. This has been a huge thing for the company. So it basically, so as I told you at the beginning, LibNova is we are almost 70, 80 people right now here, and we are fully running on our customers, right? So we are working with them in order for us to be able to exist and to involve and so on. So we don't have external investment and so on. So having additional resources in order to be able to expand the product and to make it better has been a huge thing could be needing 4 or 5, right? So this is huge. The Archiver project is giving also other benefits. The first one is that we have been working with the CERN. We have been working with DESI in Germany, PEAK in Spain, and EMBEL in the UK. So those are astrophysics, high energy physics, life sciences, and proton neutron sciences that are completely different fields. All of them are pretty intensive on research data, but their workflows, their type of content, their metadata are completely different. So by preserving their data sets in the platform, we needed to make it pretty adaptable and flexible so we can support all of them in a single and unified platform. So this has been huge because instantly you get access to all this knowledge and all those needs. So what they need in the day-to-day operation and so on, you understand their use cases. You get access to their data sets. You can work with real data and understand what is needed there and so on. So this has been excellent in this field. And the second area there is scaling the platform. So in this project is in the one we demonstrated this 500 terabytes ingestion every day, right? So we needed, and this is not happening from one day to the other. So first we tested with a few terabytes, next with 100, next with 300, next, and the platform was failing in one way or another, or we were facing some cost limitations or whatever, and we needed to solve them, improve them in order to run the final test, which only we have been able to execute. So LibNova has been the only company capable of running this 15 petabytes workload. The test that was requested by the project was 1 petabyte, and we ingested 15 petabytes in the same in the allowed time in the month that we had to run it. So it has been 15 times more than was requested in the Archiver project.
Wow, that's impressive. Yeah, I think there are many more questions we can discuss here, but to keep in the time frame, and as I said, all the other questions we can maybe answer afterwards. But there's one point I think that is very interesting because, yeah, that's one of the first questions we get every time we talk to clients is so about the price. You know, what is the cost? What does we have to think about, etc. So the question I have to give back, to my clients is, just give me more information about your project. So I'm asking you, so what kind of information do we need from potential clients, from universities, research institutes, whatever, to to understand the project and to give them, like a cost note where we are in this project?
Well, first of all, the pricing is organized so there are organizations with multiple petabytes of data and so on, but there are also organizations with way less information for preserve, and we are taking that into consideration. So the pricing of the platform is based on the volume of content you are preserving, right? So small organizations are capable of using this platform at a very low cost, and this is considered in our strategy. There are three elements that you need to know in advance in order to understand the cost of this platform. The first one is cloud or on-prem. If you are running in the cloud, you will have a different set of costs that if you are running on your own hardware, your own servers, and so on. So you need to have this. You need to make this decision. The first is the volume. The volume will immediately impact the cost. Is the main element that impacts the cost is the volume. And the third one is how your research data is going to be used. So it's a closed platform accessed by a few hundred researchers. It's a closed platform used by 10 researchers, or it's an open platform open to 15 organizations and thousands of users in multiple projects and so on. So understanding or giving some background on how the research data is going to be used and the workflow you have there will allow us to create an estimate.
Okay. Yes, I think that should be it for now. So, like I said, it was very interesting, and I guess there are many more questions we need to work on afterwards. So, but that's a good thing. So I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, I would say thank you very much, Maria and Antonio, for your time and for this presentation. And yeah, I'm looking forward to some talks with clients that are coming up, hopefully.
Very good. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.